Cinema Worms.
Discussing everything from Grima Wormtongue to the Shy Halib.
Cinema Worms.
Discussing everything from Grima Wormtongue to the Shy Halib.
I'm Zabib.
And I'm Linz.
And this is Cinema Worms Podcast.
Happy birthday to the cutest cinema worm amongst us, the pair of us. That's two of us. That's you, Zevi. You're the cutest cinema. Happy birthday!
We're both equally cute, and thank you very much.
But
darling.
only one of us is a birthday worm, and that's you.
So we decided, or rather, I was like, for your birthday, you can do anything you want, and you decided to go and see Sirāt. I don't think you knew very much about Sirāt going in, and I know nothing. I knew nothing at all. I had not even, in fact, the most I knew about it was when we walked into the film house and you pointed to the big poster and went, "That's the film we're seeing." And I was like, oh, I hadn't even seen the poster. So I knew absolutely nothing going in. Can you tell me first, what did you know about it going in?
That it was critically acclaimed.
True.
That the Skinny gave it a bad review, and I was like, what do they know? And that
what do the Skinny know?
But then maybe they do know, honestly.
Yeah. No.
And that it was a sort of post-apocalyptic propulsive film. And honestly, it was getting a lot of buzz. It got nominated for Best Foreign Film at the Oscars.
That will be that's in my notes. I'll be talking about that.
Spoiler!
I think, and Peter Bradshaw at The Guardian, who is my eternal nemesis, Peter Bradshaw, fight me in the streets. He seems to hate everything that I enjoy, so he gets this 2 stars. You're wrong, Bradshaw. So let's talk about Sirāt, or is it Sirāt? I'm not sure. It is a drama directed by Oliver Lax and co-written by Santiago Filol and Lax. Filol was actually nominated for a few awards for Sirāt, including Goya Award for Best Original Screenplay and also for the British Independent Film Award for Best International Film. Well, I can see why. He was recently beaten in the BIF award by Sentimental Value, which you can kind of understand why. They're tugs on your heartstrings a little bit more in some ways, but I think that must have been a really hard decision on the part of the judges. Now, Sirāt has done pretty well, as you say, in the award circuit. It got 11 noms overall for the Goya Awards and a couple of Oscar noms for Best International Feature Award and Best Sound. And by the time we've finished describing this, you'll absolutely understand why it's been nominated for Best Sound. And it should win 100% in my opinion, but I am not of the Academy. So we follow middle-aged Luis, who's played by Sergi Lopez, and his young son Esteban, who's played by Bruno Nunes. They wander through a desert rave passing out flyers for a missing girl, who it turns out is Luis's daughter and Esteban's sister, Mar. After having no luck finding Mar or anybody who even recognises the picture on the flyer, Louis stumbles on a small group of ravers having a bit of a rest, and he discovers, after kind of interrogating them, that another rave is happening soon, and maybe he gets into his head, perhaps Mar will be there. So Louis and Esteban and their adorable pup Pippa insist on joining the little procession as the group trundle through an unforgiving desert. That was pretty hard to sum up, because saying literally anything else would be a spoiler. Suffice to say, this is a drama film, and so there is drama, and of course, more raving. So this was really interesting. I picked up on this because in the credits, apart from Sergio Lopez and Bruno Nunes, who, as I said, play Luis and Esteban, none of the main cast members were professional actors, and they were instead selected in a street casting process led by costume designer Nadia Akimi, who is a former romantic partner of the director Oliver Lax and is a raver herself. So if you go to the wiki, you can find out like where they found different people. They are all raver people or have been involved in some part of the subculture, and so they all have the same names as their character, which I thought was really interesting. Despite the fact that they're not traditional actors, I thought they gave fantastic performances. The shots of the ravers in the beginning of the film are just so intense and hypnotic. It's a film that is connected deeply with the characters' desire to hear music, to dance and feel their bodies moving, and to do so in a crowd. I want to point out that the very first scenes of the speakers being set up. Have you ever seen the music video for a Rodrigo y Gabriela song called Hanuman?
I don't think so.
They're in a desert and they're literally standing in front of giant speakers like that, playing guitars, and I was like, oh, it's Hanuman. So, oh my god. Okay, this was a very intense film to see on your birthday, and we're trying not to spoiler it, but like, woof, this was maybe not, the the most birthday-est film that you could possibly have seen. So can you tell me what you think of that?
Sorry, I just had to stop the cat eating my coat. And he was making noise.
Brand new sentence.
So, I mean, I wasn't loving it for my birthday.
you picked it, unfortunately.
Yeah,
so.
I picked it. And it's not that I can't see a serious film on my birthday, but it was maybe because of also all the rain and my stomach ache. And I just
that
wanted
sound like a miserable birthday.
No. You made it so lovely. But just for those few hours, I was like, this is too much. This film is too much. You're talking about the raving and whatnot, but that's really like just the first part of the film, and then the rest is
well, there is raving later on as well, remember?
Yes, that's true. Life or death ride across the desert, basically. And it's intense and also dark AF. It's totally bleak. It was very, very thrilling and tense, and you're on the edge of your seat throughout the film. It's super tactile. It's all about like the physicality of the dancing and their bodies and the dust and the desert and the grime. And
so there's a lot of grime. Everybody's filthy because it's a desert.
Filthy. So there's the sensory aspect. You do feel like you're feeling all those senses and the heat and everything and the smells. And it's just, all I can say is it's stressful and bleak. It's so bleak because it's a really unexpected film. It doesn't progress in the way you think it will. And things like George Miller's Mad Max films are also like bleak and dark and repulsive in the desert, but they are not like this film exactly, although I can see parallels for sure.
I see why people have compared it to that, and in fact the director apparently did want to make a quote trucks moving across the desert film like Mad Max, and he'd actually tried to do it before but it didn't work out, and so he pared the idea right back and was like, no, I want to do like a really grounded version of for some reason trucks moving across the desert. And then I think it was his ex that said, why don't you do it about ravers instead? And he was like, oh, that fits. So it's really nice that he tried it before it didn't work and it came together perfectly here.
Yes. And I know you just final thought, it's really quite it's almost nihilistic, I'd say, but quite human as well. Humans being crushed. Yes, I'll leave it at that. What are your thoughts on the film?
What I thought was really interesting? I don't think this can't be a spoiler until you've seen the whole thing. Talking about the tactility, talking about the sensory aspect of it, you're right, it really, like, their grimy, stinky bodies really leap off the screen. You really do feel, like, sticky and hot and, like, being blasted by the wind and the dust constantly. It is very, and of course they're always taking drugs and doing a little more raving and whatever. It's very tactile in that way. And to that end, we get this lovely little scene, I think it was about maybe just before halfway through or maybe just after halfway through, where one of the ravers, Jade, explains to Louise why she likes to repair old speakers that have been tossed out. There's something very interesting in this conversation that I don't think will sink in for the viewer until the credits roll. But so to that end, I'm not even going to say I remember the line, and I'm not even going to paraphrase it. I had originally written it in my notes, and then was like, no, I don't want to give anybody too much of it and anything. I just thought it was a really interesting way of looking at things. All you can kind of do in life is live, and if you're chasing something, then it's up to you to kind of chase it as long as you want or can, to the best of your ability. That's all any of us can do. So in that sense, yeah, it is a little bit nihilistic. Everything, I can understand as well why some people didn't like this film. There's definitely, as you said, the word bleak really does apply here. It's not Hoppers, which I think we should have swapped out. We should have gone to see Hoppers for your birthday and then this one the day after, and I felt really bad for you. It was definitely, seeing Hoppers after this was like being fed some candy floss in the hospital after you wake up from a car accident.
Yeah.
It was like, oh God, something good's happening.
Good one.
But even that said, Sirāt is exactly the kind of film that I like. I felt blown away. It's not often that you will see me have a physical reaction to things happening in a film, and I think twice I put my hands over my mouth to stop myself from making a noise. That doesn't happen. I'm normally like still and quiet when a film is going on. I'm it's really rare that something can pull that kind of physical reaction from me, like automatically, reflexively, without me being able to stop it. And I think I'm surprised that it hasn't even got more buzz. I urge everybody to, definitely gird your loins and your mind, but definitely go and see Sirāt. It is one of those films. My God, I think we'll be talking about this for decades. I already know it's going to be in my top this year, 100%. There's very little that can top Sirāt for me, I think.
Yeah, and I think that there's definitely a good camp of people who feel like you. They're like, this has blown me away. Mm-hmm. And while I might not be there, I can see why you're saying it. I think I still have to process it too. Yeah.
I haven't stopped thinking about it since. It's just,
and it's not that it's not like I can't handle depressing films or bleak films, but it has a particular unexpected bam, bam, bam to it that I was like, okay then. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited to see what people who've seen it think.
I'm really curious.
This is the kind of film where I kind of wish we even had a guest on to get another opinion in. But I love that you love it, because it's like, it's showing what critics are responding to. Yeah. Some critics, yeah.
Well, that's the thing, you make something, not everyone's going to like it. As with everything in life, there will always be, as they say, haters. But there will also be lovers, and I'm a lover of Sirāt.
Yeah, comment below, please. So we're going to be talking about Hoppers, which came out in the UK, I think it was like the 26th of February, and it's not yet out in the US. Yeah, it's going to be out March 6th.
Oh my God, we see it first?
Yeah.
Almost never happens.
Early.
Hooray!
I mean, often, even if we do see a film early, we may not necessarily get the recording out in time, but now we are on it. Okay.
Not like a car bonnet, like my people say.
Oh, yeah, sure. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
So Hoppers is the latest film from Pixar, and it's directed by Daniel Chong. And he's the creator of some show that was on Cartoon Network. But yeah, he wrote and directed this really fun film. So this is from the website for the film.
Okay.
What if you could talk to animals and understand what they're saying? In Disney and Pixar's all-new feature film, Hoppers, scientists have discovered how to hop human consciousness into lifelike robotic animals, allowing people to communicate with animals as animals. A little clunky there, but I liked it. Describe the film very nicely.
My favorite part is where the main character is like, oh, like Avatar, and the scientist is like, no, it's nothing like Avatar. It's exactly like Avatar for children, and they demonstrate by just pointing.
I mean, exactly.
I like that. It is Avatar.
You know what? It's a good idea.
It's more watchable and more understandable, and you care more.
More fun.
I was more attached to these characters. I don't remember anything about Avatar. I don't remember a single name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, not to shade Avatar during the Hoppers, but
so unnecessary.
Sorry.
But this is a lot of fun. Basically, this film follows this girl or person, I don't know their gender, Mabel. So, Mabel, very grungy since childhood, angry since childhood. Basically, she's out here just trying to save the animals, even in kindergarten, trying to take the animals out of their little cages in elementary school.
That little turtle,
and being caught by the teachers and getting in trouble yet again. She is frustrated by the fact that no one else cares about the animals like her. And she spends a lot of time with her grandmother, who gets her, who understands her anger and is like, hey, you know what could help? Really communing with nature. And we could spend time at our little pond glade and just be happy together. And they are, for all of Mabel's childhood. Fast forward to Mabel being 19 and in college, although she's still giving very much like I'm 15 years old. And she's still angry at the city and the mayor for trying to destroy the glade and destroy nature to build this highway, and she wants to stop it. And she also stumbles into a professor who has built some insane technology that allows them to put their consciousness into completely lifelike replicas of animals, specifically a beaver. And Mabel decides she's going to steal this technology, become a fake robot beaver, and go into the animal world to help them combat what's happening with the destruction of the glade through this series of plot machinations. And she learns a lot about the animal world that she didn't expect. The scientists didn't expect. So that's where the plot unfolds with all of its hilarity. And I think we enjoyed this film quite a lot.
I mean, who amongst us hasn't wanted to head hop into a robotic beaver suit and go and just, turn all of nature against humanity? I know I have. And I know there are dozens of us. Dozens, I say. This was a really fun film. Now, I know that you didn't seem that keen originally, but I showed you the trailer and you did laugh, and I think there was a concession at that point that you would go and see it. It was a little bit predictable, it was a little bit by the numbers, you kind of expect that. It is kind of a kid's film. There are quite a few jokes thrown in there for adults, you will laugh out loud several times. And it has a great cast of characters, which I hope we're going to get to, because I recognised some voices and was like, oh, wait a minute. But that being said, despite the fact that we've been seeing this kind of, one human wants to help nature and has to combat some kind of the progressive industrialization and capitalism of humanity creeping ever forwards. We've got, your Pocahontas, your Avatars, your Fern Gullies, we've been seeing this over and over, but it never sort of seems to sink in, unfortunately. But it's never like something that we want to stop telling our children. It's always important to tell them to do that. And I really like that it was like, these things are important not just for you, but for the animals. The animals who inhabit this planet also deserve to live. They did a really great job of making like the different kind of classes of animals, like the insects and the mammals and the amphibians and everything, and the birds, feel like quite different subcultures as well, which I really liked. And they gave the council, who we meet later on. I mean, I like the King Beaver, but we meet the council later on, and they were very memorable as well for various different reasons. Do you want to talk about some of the voice acting? Because I think I leaned over to you as soon as the credits started rolling, was like, the little caterpillar was Dave Franco. I could recognize him, and there was some real talent here.
So Piper Curda plays Mabel, and then you have actors, lots of famous actors. Mm-hmm. Bobby Moynihan playing the King Beaver. John Hamm as the mayor. Jerry, which you'll hear lots.
Do you know what? The mayor kind of looked like John Hamm.
Yeah, he did. He was getting John Hamm. We should have known. Other factor. I can't believe you recognized Dave Franco as Titus.
I last heard him screaming in Together. So when the caterpillar starts screaming like angrily, I was like, oh, it's Dave Franco. He has quite a distinctive voice, actually, to me.
He's hilarious.
He's really funny. He actually maybe steals the show a little bit.
Yeah, he actually does. Sam Richardson as he's just a minor character as Connor, one of the grad students who's just
he had some good lines.
Yeah,
he was really funny.
He was funny. Yeah, I was like, who's
that? That's another character who kind of stole the show a little bit.
And we have Meryl Streep as the Insect Queen, who's in there for quite a great cameo. Ego Nwandim from SNL, formerly as the Fish Queen.
She was fantastic.
And rest in peace, Isaiah Whitlock Jr. Shit from The Wire.
I never really watched The Wire.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, no, great actor. He was the Bird King, a goose, hilarious goose. Mm-hmm. Melissa Villaseñor as Ellen the bear.
So another
SNL person.
SNL, yeah.
Yeah, so all around
I
great,
really like her.
Great cast. Some other people, I can't even get to everyone,
no,
but
it's crazy film.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. This is like it's heartfelt and very silly. Its humor is so silly and delightful. That's all I could say. Mm-hmm. It's just so adorable, but also it has a bit of an edge. So I think kids will enjoy it, and the parents will enjoy watching it with them. I loved the humor. I was cackling.
You were cackling.
God.
You were. I literally was like, I didn't think you were going to enjoy it this much. The thing is, yeah, this is absolutely a good film for kids and for parents, but we are neither. And I think if you are none of those things, do not sleep on this film. It's a really fun afternoon. Like, you come out of it like slightly re-energized and maybe keener to go and sign a petition.
Yes, exactly. Care about nature. Maybe it's not going to blow your mind away like the most classic Pixar films or things like Zootopia or even Wild Robot, but it has a heartfelt message. It has a good character arc. It's like a very like solid and hilarious film.
I think I might have preferred this to Wild Robot just because Wild Robot made me cry so much.
The Wild Robot's like the serious version.
I felt like a desiccated coconut afterwards.
Yeah.
And I needed something that didn't make me feel like that this weekend.
It's serious versions.
Yeah. So yeah, we definitely recommend going to see Hoppers if it's at a cinema near you.